Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about root and its type. So first of all, what is root? This portion of the plant is known as root. It is the part of the plant which is essential for the absorption of water and mineral from the soil, which is necessary for the development and the growth of the plant. Now, here you can see that the seed has three parts: cotyledon, plumule, radicle. This radicle gives rise to root, plumule gives rise to shoot, and the cotyledon provides the nourishment to plumule and radicle for their growth. Here you can see that the seed has three parts: radicle, and the brown color one is cotyledon, and the hypocotyle, which is the region on plumule. So plumule develops into the shoot, and cotyledon provide nourishment, and the radicle develops into the root. So in shoot, the leaf will develop, and the epicotyle, which is true stem, will develop. Now, root is of three type: taproot, fibrous root, adventitious root. In taproot, the radicle elongate to form primary root, and on the primary root, secondary root develop, and on the secondary root, tertiary root develop. So if you see here in diagram, this is main root, which is primary root, on which secondary root develop, and on the secondary root, tertiary root develop. Example, most of the dicot plant. Example, mustard. Now in fibrous root, the primary root is short-lived and then replaced by the large number of root. So if you see here in diagram, there is no primary root. It is replaced by the large number of root. So example is all the monocot. So wheat is the example of monocot. So if you want to distinguish between the monocot and dicot, you can also distinguish it in real life by seeing the leaf venation pattern. In all the dicot, there is reticulate venation pattern or irregular venation pattern. But in monocot, the leaf has parallel venation. So you can distinguish between monocot and dicot. Like if you see the leaf of wheat, it has parallel venation, so it is monocot. So next one is adventitious. In adventitious, root is not forming from the radicle, it is forming from the other part than the radicle. Example, grass, monstera, banyan tree. Now this is the example of taproot. It is a mustard plant. It has this primary root, that is longer one, and on the primary root secondary root develop, and on the secondary root tertiary root develop. Now next example, the fibrous root. It is present in wheat. I have already told that if you want to distinguish between monocot and dicot, you can see here in leaf of the wheat the venation pattern is parallel. So this is the example of fibrous root. Now adventitious. In adventitious, you can see there is no I have already told that radical in adventitious, the root is not developing from the radicle, it is developing from the other part than the radicle. So this is the example, grass. Now root is, there is some character of the root, that is it is positively geotropic and the hydrotropic. What is the meaning of positively? Means in the direction of, in geotropic, it is root is developing in the direction of gravity and also in the direction of water where it found the water. Negatively phototropic means sunlight comes from the upward direction, and the root is developing toward opposite to the sunlight direction. So this is negatively phototropic, and the function of the root is absorption of water and mineral, provide anchorage, that is support to the plant part, and storage of reserve food material. In some plant it has one function, that is reserve food material, and the other function is synthesis of PGR, that is plant growth regulator. So there are some modification of the root. In taproot, the modification is fusiform, spindle, that is also known as spindle, then conical, then napiform, then tuberous, then nodulated. In fusiform, at the middle the portion is thicker, and at the both end the portion is pointed, that is tapered. So example is reddish, that is Raphanus sativus. In conical, you can see that the upper portion is broad, means thicker, and the lower portion is taper one. So the example of conical is carrot. It has the scientific name Daucus. Then napiform. In napiform, the upper portion is spherical and the lower portion is tapered. So example is turnip. The scientific name of turnip is Brassica rapa. So in tuberous, the root is fleshy and swollen, and it is irregular in shape. Example is root of mirabilis. Now nodulated. The nodules are formed at the branches, and it has the significance of nitrogen fixation. So this nodule developed by the nitrogen fixation bacteria. Example pea, gram, and beans. Now you can see here this mirabilis. It has the tuberous type of root, and the Pisum sativum, that is P, it has nodulated root. Now next, there is also a modification for the respiration. In taproot, there is modification for the respiration. These are known as pneumatophores. So this type of trees are found in, this type of root is found in marshy area where the O2 is very less. So here, because of the scarcity of the oxygen in soil, the root comes out of the soil surface and grow upward, and the root is known as pneumatophore, and the minute pores on the pneumatophore is known as pneumatothode or lenticel. Example Rhizophora and the mangrove trees. Now there is some modification in adventitious root also. First one is fasciculated. In fasciculated, the root occur in cluster, all are swollen. Example asparagus. You can see here the root is in the cluster form and all are swollen. Now the next one is you can see the other example, that is dahlia. There is also swollen root. Now nodulus. In nodulus, the tip is swells up. You can see here the example curcuma amara, that is mango ginger. You can see mango ginger, it appears like a ginger. So this one is the example of nodulosa. Then the third one is beaded moniliform. In this type of root, the root swells up like beads, and at different place, means in regular interval it is present. Example is vitis, that is grape, and the momodia, that is bitter gourd. And you can see the example in beaded, the root has beaded type of root, and bead is present in the regular interval. Now the next type of the adventitious root modification is tuberous adventitious. So here the root has the function of food storage. So it is swollen and there is no definite shape. It is irregular. Example, the sweet potato, that is Ipomia batatus. So you have already seen this plant. Now the fifth one is stilt or brace. Here the root arises from the lower node and enter in the soil. So example is maize, sugarcane, and pandanus. You can see here the root developed from the node which are present in the lower portion of the stem. Okay. Now the next one is prop or pillar. So root arise from the branches of the plant, and you have seen this example banyan tree, which is also known as, scientific name is Ficus bengalensis. Now the seventh one is buttress. Here the root appear from basal part of the stem and spread in the different direction on the soil. Example is terminalia, that is Arjun tree, and the ficus people. If you have not seen, I will show it. You can see here the root is spreading over the surface in the all different direction. So it is example of the buttress, that is Arjuna terminalia. Now, the next type is climbing root. Here the root arise from the nodes helping in the climbing. Example, money plant. You have already seen this plant. Now the next one is respiratory root. The root come out of the soil for respiration. It is just like the pneumatophore, and the example is Avicennia or Jursiera. Example you can see here. This one is Avicennia. The difference is this is the modification of the adventitious type of root, and that pneumatophore was mangrove plants are the modification of the dicot taproot. Now, okay, the next one is foliar epiphyllus. So root arise from the leaf called foliar root. Example, bryophyllum. You have already seen this leaf on which the root is developed. Now the next one is sucking hostiorial parasite. The root enter the host plant to absorb the nutrition. Example, Cuscuta, Dendrophthera, then Viscum. So if you have not seen Cuscuta, you can see here. The Cuscuta overlap on the host plant for the absorption of the nutrition. This is also known as sucking root. Now the next one is annulated. That is, root swelling occur in series of the ring of the root, and the example is ipecac. So thank you.